In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on October 21st, 2022, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive betting picks to take your sports betting journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer anywhere from 1 betting pick a day up to 10 betting picks a day and much more. Now let's get started. New Orleans Pelicans versus Charlotte Hornets. It's an interconference matchup on the hardwood as the past and present of a franchise take the floor in Buzz City. The New Orleans Pelicans are on the road as they travel to face the Charlotte Hornets Friday night. New Orleans opened the season with an emphatic 130-108 drubbing of the Nets on the road as a 3.5-point underdog Wednesday night. Charlotte rolled to an easy 129-102 road win over San Antonio Wednesday night, easily covering the 1-point line in the game. In the all-time regular season series between the teams, the Pelicans own a 23-12 advantage, though the Hornets have won the last 2 matchups. That includes a 106-103 road win in the most recent meeting on March 21, 2022. Looking at the betting trends, the Pelicans are 3-9 against the spread in their last 12 games against a team with a winning record, 15-7 against the spread in their last 22 road games, and 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games following a win. The Hornets are 2-5-1 against the spread in their last 8 games against a team above .600, and 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 games following a win of more than 10 points. Head-to-head, the under is 5-0 in the last 5 meetings in Charlotte. The Pelicans are 23-11-1 against the spread in the last 35 meetings overall, and the Pelicans are 6-0 against the spread in the last 6 meetings in Charlotte. The Charlotte Hornets would be in a better position as a franchise if they begin to tank this season and try to get a top draft pick with where they are. This New Orleans team is dominant, and with Miles Bridges still out as his hearing continues to be delayed, it will be difficult to see this Hornets team be competitive in this game. Who is going to stop the 3-headed monster we discussed earlier for the Pelicans? This Charlotte team is going to struggle, especially as point guard LaMelo Ball is out with an ankle injury here. The Pelicans have covered in each of their previous 6 road games against the Hornets. The New Orleans Pelicans are coming off an impressive win over the Nets, and they look good with the addition of Williamson. The Charlotte Hornets had success offensively in their season opener, but I do question how long that continues without their point guard in LaMelo Ball. Both teams are coming into this one with plenty of confidence after registering blowout wins, but there's definitely more to like about the Pelicans, who just destroyed the highly touted Nets in their own building. The Hornets are certainly capable of pulling off the upset at home, but they're still shorthanded with LaMelo Ball still out. I have a hard time getting behind the Hornets against respectable teams without their best player, so the New Orleans Pelicans to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. New Orleans went past the total in their season opener as they combined with the Nets to score a total of 238 points. That surpassed the number of 232.5 set by the Vegas sportsbooks and marked the 5th time in the last 6 games that the Pelicans went over the number. Charlotte found themselves in a similar situation as they went over the number in their season opener. The Hornets and Spurs combined for 231 points to cruise past the said number of 221 in the game. That pushed the over to a 5-2-1 record in the Hornets' last 8 games dating back to the end of last season. We know that there is firepower on both of these squads when they are healthy, or relatively so, as they are at the moment. That's enough to push the needle toward the over in this contest. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. San Antonio Spurs versus Indiana Pacers. San Antonio and Indiana will both be looking to bounce back from disappointing series openers when they square off on Friday night. The Spurs were blown out in a 129-102 loss to Charlotte on Wednesday. Indiana was more competitive in its opener, falling in a 114-107 final against Washington. Looking at the betting trends, the Spurs are 6-1 against the spread in their last 7 road games and 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 games following a double-digit loss at home. The Pacers are 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games against a team with a losing record and 6-14 against the spread in their last 20 home games. Head-to-head, the over is 5-2 in the last 7 meetings overall. The Spurs are 2-10 against the spread in the last 12 meetings overall, and the Spurs are 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 meetings in Indiana. San Antonio lost their season opener to Charlotte on Wednesday. There is going to happen a lot this season as this team seems intent on getting the highest draft pick possible. Keldon Johnson posted 20 points and 11 rebounds and is probably the most reliable part of the team. He and Jakob Poeltl are pros who should post consistent numbers in losing efforts. Rookie Jeremy Sochan got the start in the opener. He is a player they hope can lead the next wave. Indiana also lost their opener, falling to Washington at home. Big man Miles Turner missed the game and is questionable for Friday. Lead guard Tyrese Halliburton was excellent for Indiana after they acquired him from Sacramento last season, and he has carried that over into this season too. He posted a team-high 26 points. The Pacers' top rookie, Ben Mathurin, was able to get up 15 shots off the bench. Look for that to be a theme going forward. At the end of the season, these teams may prove to be the 2 worst teams in the NBA, so these games are meaningful in a race to the bottom. The Spurs are just about at full strength for this one with nobody listed on the injury report, while the Pacers are missing Miles Turner and they will be keeping an eye on Aaron Nesmith and Jalen Smith, who are both listed as questionable for this one. I'm expecting a better showing from the Spurs after they got embarrassed on Wednesday, but we're just not getting enough free points from the bookies. The San Antonio Spurs are going to make a case as the worst team in the league, and if their season is an indication of things to come, yikes. The Indiana Pacers had their issues in their opener as well, but there's talent on this roster and the offense should come along at some point. Indiana is favored at home, and their more experienced roster is probably better suited to win right now than San Antonio's, though it is a bit of a toss-up. From what we saw in their respective openers, it is hard to say which team is definitely worse. We can also give the edge to the Pacers for being at home. We're not being asked to lay much, and the Pacers are comfortably the more talented team. So the Indiana Pacers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. We are getting a high total in this game, and it feels justified. When Turner is on the floor, the Pacers can have some sense level of defensive presence, but he is just one player, and he might not even suit up on Friday. These are not the most efficient offensive teams, but their preferences are going to be playing fast and bombing away as much as possible. Neither is expected to carve out a defensive identity anytime soon, even though that used to be a part of the Spurs' DNA. Times have changed, and ugly basketball is not always low scoring. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Chicago Bulls versus Washington Wizards. The Chicago Bulls are not at full strength but have a solid roster. They are currently 1-0 as they are coming off of a 116-108 road win over the Miami Heat on Wednesday night and need to figure out how to get their players doing well all at once. The Washington Wizards are an interesting team heading into this season as it seems to be the Bradley Beal show with a couple of interesting pieces. They defeated the Indiana Pacers on the road Wednesday night 114-107. Looking at the betting trends, the Bulls are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 road games and 3-12 against the spread in their last 15 games against a team above .600. The Wizards are 3-7 against the spread in their last 10 games against a team with a winning record and 6-20 against the spread in their last 26 games following a win. Head-to-head, the under is 20-9 in the last 29 meetings in Washington. The Bulls are 9-3 against the spread in the last 12 meetings overall, and the Bulls are 9-2 against the spread in the last 11 meetings in Washington. When looking at the talent alone, the Chicago Bulls are leagues ahead of what the Washington Wizards are right now. Even with Zach LaVine being questionable, DeMar DeRozan has been an absolute monster on the offensive end of the court and can score at will. I do not know what to take out of the game against Indiana for the Wizards as they are not great and Miles Turner did not play due to an ankle injury he suffered in pregame warm-ups. I do not like the Washington team as a whole as Kyle Kuzma and Kristaps Porzingis are decent pieces but nothing to write home about here. The Bulls are 9-3 against the spread in their last 12 games against the Wizards. This line has changed drastically as the Wizards opened up as 2.5-point underdogs. I'm not sure if I understand it. The Chicago Bulls are coming off an impressive effort in Miami, and DeRozan looks to be in regular season form already. Yes, the Bulls are banged up with no LaVine or Ball, but that was the case in their opener, and it didn't stop them. So the Chicago Bulls to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Vegas is going to overprice this total with the idea of Bradley Beal and DeMar DeRozan scoring 35 points apiece, and that is not going to happen. It is extremely difficult to take defensive numbers after a single game. but Washington did hold Indiana to 40.2% from the floor as a team, so baskets are going to be a little bit tougher to come by. If Zach LaVine is healthy enough to play in this game, is he going to be 100% after sitting out the first game of the season? The under has hit in 20 of their previous 29 games played in Washington between these teams. The Bulls come into this game following a 116-point output against a tough Miami defense, but they may be due for a letdown spot in Washington on Friday. DeMar DeRozan dropped 37 points, but the Wizards should have a solid game plan in place to slow him down in this matchup, knowing that Chicago doesn't have many other dangerous scorers with LaVine and Ball sidelined. The Bulls will go as far as DeRozan takes them, so if he's off his game even a little, Chicago may struggle to pile on the points. On the other side, the Wizards had a solid game against the Pacers, but that game wasn't enough to provide a clear indication of how strong they are. Chicago is a much tougher opponent, so they might have to make some adjustments along the way, which could lead to a tighter, low-scoring matchup. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.